Michael Cohen doesn't want to talk to Congress as he'd planned in 2 weeks, but he may have to if lawmakers subpoena him. Cohen postponed his testimony today out of fear for his family, threatened, he says, by President Trump. The response?
I would say he's been threatened by the truth. He's only been threatened by the truth.
A source close to Cohen says he's especially concerned about the safety of his father-in-law and wife after references like these by the president, online and on camera.
His father-in-law is a very rich guy, I hear.
He should give information maybe on his father-in-law because that's the one that people want to look at.
Did he make a deal to keep his wife out of trouble?
MSNBC contributor Donnie Deutsch is a friend of Cohen's.
And he was panicked. He was like, he's going after my father-in-law. Are my children next?
Cohen's advisor hinting this might happen last week.
Family is out of bounds. There's only one person in the country, one president in our history, that would threaten family as a tactic to make fear of somebody he calls a rat for telling the truth. And that's President Trump.
The House Oversight and Intelligence Committees, led by Democrats, called efforts to intimidate witnesses textbook mob tactics that we condemn in the strongest terms. But, they added, Cohen not appearing at all was never an option.
I have not decided exactly how we will go about it, but I promise you, we will hear from him.
Remember, Cohen heads to prison in a matter of weeks here, early March. So even if Congress does issue a subpoena to make him testify, it's not clear whether Cohen would be allowed to do that in person.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.